Hello everybody, welcome back to another video on my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Brooke, or Baby Sims on all of my socials, and today we are building a recreation center in Newcrest for my save file. So, hello and welcome. This is actually the last build we ever will be doing for Newcrest for my save file, which is so sad. I had so much fun building Newcrest, and I'm just so sad that it's done, but that means that we are now moving on to Windenburg, which is super fun, super cool. I actually, as I'm recording this, it is 4:45 Saturday, July 27th. And yesterday, I actually built 2 houses in Windenburg, so I'm already 2 houses down in there, which is really good. So yeah. I'm having a good time. I'm having a good time for sure. But this is the last build that we did for Newcrest, and it is the rec center, and I had so much fun building this. And yeah, I really tried my best. However, the only thing I would change is maybe how the exterior looks. It doesn't look very rec center-y to me. I don't know. I'm not really good at building community lots, I think. Like, I try my damnedest, but I feel like sometimes it just don't be working the way I want it to, and that's kind of upsetting. But either way, I think it looks okay. It looks good in the end, and it's a rec center, and we have all kinds of cool things that you can do here. We have a gym, a bathroom with showers, and we have a music room, an art room, a little kids tutoring school classroom looking room, and we have a library, and we have a game room, and a cafeteria where you can get food, and outside there's a basketball court and a playground for kids. So we have all kinds of cool stuff you can do here. And the reason I built one of these in Newcrest is because I feel like every part of cities, like think about your like real life town that you live in, I feel like they always have like a rec center of some sort. I mean, at least where I live, we always have rec centers in different parts of towns. Like for example, I live next door to one, like literally next door. If they play music, I can hear it like it's in my own house. So yeah, and the rec center is like a core part of my growing up. Like that is like my hangout spot since I was really little. Like since I was young, when I was a kid, my mom used to take me to the rec center all the time, and we'd play on the playground, or I would play on the playground. And then as I got a little older, every single friend I've literally ever had in my entire life has been to that rec center with me if they came to my house. That's like the thing here. Like I have friends come over and they're like, oh, we're gonna go to the rec center. So that's kind of the vibe, and I feel like that's an important part of growing up. I don't know, like a playground or a nearby park or something, because that is what is a big important part for me. Like my best friend and I, when she comes over, we make it like a thing. Since we were like 10, we would always walk down to the rec center and we would play in the playground, or there's like a lake off the rec center that we would go down to. Or we would sit on the park benches and just talk, or we would go on the basketball court and play with the basketballs that are out there. So I feel like the river, or like the lake, sorry, is super cool because we can just like sit there and watch the water run, because it's a river, but it's also a lake. Like it's a river that goes into a lake. So we usually sit at the river and watch like the river run into the lake. So yeah. That is like a big part of growing up for me, is me and my best friend always going there, and me and my cousin who lives up the road from me, we would always go up there as well and just hang out. And it was always like the place to be. Like there was always so many people that I knew there, and like sometimes you'd go there and it'd be people you know, and you'd be like, oh my god, hey, and then you'd hang out with them for the day. Or you know, it's just like a big community spot, and there's always big parties there. Like I've been to so many parties there with my best friend, family parties, or just neighborhood community parties, or potlucks, or like fireworks, or Canada Day celebrations, or birthday parties, or New Year's Eve. Like, you know, like there's always so many celebrations at the rec center that like my family and my friends and everything have always been a part of. So I am a big community center lover, if you haven't found out yet. And even when my cousin comes over that lives a little far away, he and I always walk down to the basketball court and we play basketball, or like there's just so much to do with them, and there's like always something fun to do with anybody. So I feel like rec center is really important, and this one I decided that I wanted one in Newcrest because it is such a family place to me. Like I feel like Newcrest is very much like a family suburban kind of suburbs area, and I feel like rec centers are so important in that, because I live in like kind of the suburbs, and everywhere I've ever been that's kind of suburbs has like a rec center that everyone kind of goes to and hangs out at. So I feel like it was really important to have in this world as well. So that is why I built one. And also the other reason why I built this is because before I actually started Newcrest, like way back, my old Newcrest I had set up actually did have a rec center that I made before Growing Dealer even came out. We had rec centers. I set it as like a cafe and just had like a bunch of different things that you could do there, and I want to kind of channel that vibe back, so that is what I did. And I built this rec center and I really like it. I think it's really cool. If I lived in Newcrest, my Sims live in Newcrest, I would definitely be here all the time, but since my Sims live in San Sequoia, I feel like they'd probably be at the San Sequoia one a little more than this one. But my Sims Hudson, if you guys aren't aware or you're new to my channel, I have one family that I've been playing like generationally for 12 years, like since The Sims 4 came out, basically. Or 10 years, I don't know exactly, but I think it's closer to 12 now. And my Sims names are Hudson and Cora, and Hudson and Cora, they live in San Sequoia, but Hudson's sister Luna actually lives in Newcrest, so I maybe will be here a lot with her and her kids. So yeah, super fun. I love it. And yeah, so I'm just kind of working on the exterior right now. There's a bunch of different rooms and stuff. I didn't really struggle too much with the floor plan with this one, which is really shocking, because if you guys aren't new here, you would know that I struggle so bad when it comes to floor plans. Like, I am horrible at them. So off the art room there, that little door on the top is like a balcony, and I forgot to put tables and stuff because I honestly forgot that it was even like a balcony, so there's nothing up there, but that is actually off of the art room. And yeah, so if you guys are new here, then you would know that how I want to talk you through a little bit of the process of how I do my builds, because I want to talk specifically about how I decide color schemes with builds, because as one thing I really have trouble with is deciding what color scheme to use, because if I don't predetermine a color scheme for a build, it will always end up being beige and white and like a pop of blue, maybe. It will always be that way, so I need to always kind of predetermine them with a little wheel spin type of thing I made on my notes app, and not really a wheel spin, but kind of. So basically I wrote down, I explained this in another video, so if you aren't new here and you watch all my videos and you're probably like, girl, we know, stop talking about it. But either way, I'm going to talk about it because people are new here. Most of the people who watch my videos are actually new here rather than they are returning viewers. So I actually do this thing called color scheme wheel options. So I pick between 5 solid colors, which are white, black, brown, gray, and beige. And then I go on Google and I type in pick a number between 1 and 5. So I'll do it with you right now just so you can get a little example. So pick a number. Oh, I'm on the wrong Google account. That's not good. Hold on. I'm switching to my other Google account. Okay, pick a number between 1 and 5. So I got 5, which means the main color is going to be beige. And then for a pop of color, I choose between 1 and 7, which is red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, pink. And so I pick a number between 1 and 7, which it gave me 2. So the color scheme is going to be beige and orange, which is absolutely horrible. And actually what I'm stuck with right now and the one I'm building for Windenburg is beige and orange, and I hate the color orange. But then I actually pick a color variant. So after we got the color orange, we're going to do color variants, which are either pastel, vibrant, or dark. So I put 3 down, and my number was 3, so I got dark orange. So the color scheme of the build would be beige and dark orange. So for this one, I got gray and blue. Gray and dark blue, actually. So that is why that is the color scheme of this build, and that's kind of the vibe that I go with, because that's the color scheme I got, and that's kind of color scheme you'll see inside, and that is I use that for like this entire street, actually, because that's when I made that system, is when I was building the street. So yeah. Also, I want to tell you guys a quick something, because you might be wondering why there's no arcade build. So down the street from here is actually the second lot over, like from the left. There is an arcade that I built. I did record it, and then I put it on a flash drive because I had no space on my computer and I knew I wasn't going to upload it for a bit, because this was when I was still doing at the very beginning of Newcrest. So I was like, oh, I'll probably upload that when I'm doing the community lots. So I'll put this on the flash drive. I don't know what flash drive. I have 3 in my room. I checked all of them. The video's not there. So I have no sweet idea where that went. So there is no footage of that because it's missing. So that's upsetting. But I'm very sorry. So we're missing 1 lot, but it's alright. It is on my gallery if you guys want to download it. And that's another thing I want to talk about as well. So the day that I'm uploading this, I think Thursday was the day that the new pack came out, which was I keep on saying Love Stick because of Ocean, but no, it's Love Struck, I believe. I don't have it yet. Probably won't for a while. And let me explain. So as you guys know, that pack came out and the updates come out and it breaks like mods and it's EA, so most of the game. So I obviously have not updated my game, and I'm playing in offline mode, which if you guys aren't new here, you guys are very, very like, yeah, we know, because every time a patch comes out, I play offline for months at a time sometimes, because I have close to 150 mods alone, and CC, I have over 11,000 files of CC. So while CC doesn't typically break with patches, mods do, every single one of them, and this one was a doozy. It broke every single mod there is ever. So I am waiting for all 150 of my mods to be updated, which is probably going to take a very long time, which is perfectly fine because modders have lives too. So I am waiting for that, and that is why I am not uploading any of these builds that you're seeing on the gallery. So this one I believe is not, or it might be. No, I don't think it is. And then the 2 homes I built in Windenburg that you guys will be seeing shortly are also not going to be there. And then just for the future reference, they're probably not going to be on the gallery. But first build I do, when I start uploading them to the gallery, I will tell you guys, so you guys can go back and download. So yeah, and I'll also put it on my Twitter. If you don't follow my Twitter, you should. It is BabySimsYT, I believe, or BabySimmerYT. It's one of the two. It's in my description either way. I post a lot of updates about my channel. If I don't upload, or if I haven't uploaded in a bit and you want to know why, that's where you want to find out at, because I usually tell you guys there. I also kind of, I don't know, I update you on my like legacy that has nothing to do with this channel, but I like to post about. I share Sims opinions sometimes. I don't know, just be sure to go over there. And I also update things on my channel, like for example, when I am uploading my builds to the gallery again, and I did finally update, it will be posted on that Twitter, so you guys can find out from there as well. And right now on the build, I am just kind of placing down filler furniture, because at this point I was have to split this build into 2 days, like work on it one day and then go back the next day. So I had to kind of lay out the furniture so I wouldn't forget what room was what. And so that is what I'm doing right now. These are not final furniture, so don't be alarmed at how ugly everything looks, because girl, I know, and it's getting there. Okay, it's getting there. So I actually ended up working somewhat on the bathroom, because I just like couldn't get off without knowing that I couldn't get off the game without knowing that this bathroom was settled. So that is why we have this here, and I'm just putting like the showers and things down, and then the little, you know, toilet stalls, and then the sinks down, just so I know the general layout, because I had like a vision in my mind and I didn't really want to forget it. So that is why I end up doing that. And yeah, so I really like this build. I feel like that we did a lot of cool things with it. I think I really like the entryway. I really try my hardest on like the entryway for some reason. I think it looks really good there. And I think I have to say my favorite room though would probably be the cafeteria, or like I guess I've been calling it a canteen because I feel like in this places it's more of a canteen that would be a cafeteria. But my rec center up the road that I've so fondly talked about for 12 minutes of this video actually does have a cafeteria and like a little room where you can eat and stuff, and it's like ginormous, and you can go in there and order food. But 99% of the time, because I live in a very, very small part of my town or city. What in the... There's loud banging happening around my home. I had to go investigate. There was loud banging. I'm back. Sorry. But yeah, there is like a cafeteria that sometimes it's only really open during events. Like if people are, like for example, Canada Day and New Year's Eve, Christmas, birthday parties, whatever, that's when the cafeteria is open, and there's like people who are working there and they are like serving food. But like if I was to walk up there right now, there would be literally not a soul in that whole building probably. Most of the 99% of the time, the actual inside of the rec center is closed. And our rec center is not like this. Like we don't have like a game room, a music room, a gym. Ours is 3 empty rooms. And that is it. Like we have 3 empty rooms, and that is the whole rec center. And then we have a basement with utilities, and then we have the cafeteria that has like a stove and stuff in it. But that is literally it. That's our rec center. Most of the activities take place outside, like basketball games and baseball games and all that. And if I were to go down there right now, I would not be able to go inside. The doors are locked 90% of the time. So the only time they're unlocked is if it's an event. So yeah, you can't actually go in there most times. So that's upsetting. But yeah, so yeah, my rec center is like, I feel like I'm going in circles here. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. But yeah, my rec center is only 3 rooms, and they're all empty. It's just mostly like a do-it-yourself type of thing. Like if someone is having an event, you you're kind of required to bring your own things to set up, but sometimes they have like tables and stuff you can put out, but that's kind of it. And then they have every time I've been to an event, they categorize the 3 rooms into 3 different places, which is the first room 1 is for kids. It's like where they have all kinds of toys and like games set up, and like face painting and stuff like that. And then the second room is kind of like the bar area, where like the adults can go to get drinks from a cooler or just like hang out and play cards or whatever. And then the third room is called the elderly room, where there's like bingo games sometimes during events, and it's usually just where all the elderly people sit and drink coffee or tea or even alcohol sometimes if they want to, and they just kind of chill. It's also the place in the third room, the elderly room, it's also what they call the shop. So during events, when I go, there's like a little person who sits at a table with a little cash register, and if you can go up and be like, hi, I would like 1 soda please, and they're like, sure, that will be 10 cents, and then you pay and they give you the soda, instead of the canteen, because the canteen or the cafeteria is usually only where like you can get food from, like food, not like you can go into the elderly room and buy like freezies or like a popsicle or like a granola bar, but like if you want like hot dog, hamburger, fries, poutine, any of those things, you have to go to the canteen to get that, and they're quite expensive in there. So that is kind of how we get our setup over here. We don't have all this fancy stuff, but yeah. And then also during the summer, a lot of people can't go in the rec center because it is reserved for kind of like day camp for kids and different things like that, which a lot of my friends have actually been like camp counselors for. And basically it's just a day camp where like people drop off their kids during the summer while they're working or whatever. It's not daycare because it's kids of any age, like 16, 15, 10, 2, like all kinds of people go there, and they just kind of play games with you, and you might play outside for a bit. It's basically a daycare. It's basically daycare. They just call it summer camp, basically. And they're also after school during the school year, most of the times from, I think, 4 to 6. There is tutoring as well, where you can go and get like free tutoring. You can just walk in, like anybody can walk in, you have to sign up, and you can just be like, hi, I'm having trouble with math, and then someone will be there to help you. Or if you just want a quiet place to do your homework, you can do that there as well. I've never been to any of those. I've never been to the day camp. I've never been to the tutoring. I've only been to the parties that have been there. I've been to the aftermath of the day camp, where they were taking all the things down. But this is one of my fondest memories. So me and my best friend, she and I were having a sleepover at my house, and I live next door to it. So we were like, let's go to the rec center, like we do all the time, as I mentioned. And we went down there, and the day camp ended, but they forgot to take down all their bouncy houses. And there was like 7 of them, and there were water slides or all kinds of cool things. And the whole community center or rec center was completely empty. There was not a single soul there, but these like awesome bouncy houses and things. And at this point, we were like 15, 16, and we were like, oh my god, we've hit the lottery. So we played on the bouncy house and all that until somebody showed up, and they were like, hey, hello, you cannot be on that. We have to take those down. You're gonna break them. And we were like, my bad. So we got off. And then the funny part was is that we didn't know who was yelling at us. And then my best friend was like, oh my god, that's so embarrassing. And I was like, what's wrong? She goes, that's my aunt. So her aunt showed up because she kind of runs the day camp. And yeah, yeah, so it was kind of embarrassing, but we had a lot of fun. And I still have those pictures framed of us on the bouncy houses because we took so many pictures, because we like, I don't know, 15, 14-year-old us thought that was like the best day of our lives. And I've actually never been on a bouncy house or a water slide since that day, and I'm 20, so rest in peace, my love for them. I really love them. Actually, I feel like I have, I don't know, I don't know, I'm kind of in the mood to talk about things that happen in my neighborhood, because I'm really fond of my neighborhood. I want to say patriotic, but that's a different whole world, but I'm very proud of where I grew up in and where I live. There's another thing that happens at the elementary school, which is also 2 minutes down the road from me, and so is my middle school. Again, as I said, very, very small part of town. There's approximately, like, I'd say 5, maybe 10,000 people in my entire part of town. I wouldn't even say that, probably 5,000. Either way, at the elementary school that I went to up the road from me, there is this thing that happens every spring, and it's around April 10th, and it's called the Spring Fling. And basically, that is like my best friend and I's tradition, because we both went to elementary school. She doesn't live around here anymore, but when she did, we went to that elementary school together, and we would always go to the Spring Fling, and that is the highlight of everybody who lives here's life. And I mean at all ages. It's held elementary school, but literally, like, I've seen elderly people go and play the games. I've seen 2-year-olds be there. I've seen everybody be there. Like everybody, when I went there in high school, like when I was like already moved on in like grade 10 and 11, 12, and I went, there was people also at my high school there. So like, you know what I mean? A bunch of people go, it's super fun. And there is like a train that goes around, and like a little kids train that you can ride. There's a bunch of different venues and food places where you can get like slushies, or you can get cotton candy or popcorn or food or whatever. There's games everywhere, and every classroom is a different game. And one of the biggest highlights, I also, by the way, never won a single thing. I went like 9 consecutive years in a row, never won a single prize. And you can win a prize in every room. I suck at games like that. But there's a cakewalk, which if you aren't aware what that is, it's basically where like you play musical chairs, but you're like walking, there's no chairs. So you're walking in a circle, and then it says like stop, and then whoever's like, you know, obviously not on a square is out, and then the last one standing is who wins a cake of their choice. And there's usually about 15 cakes, and you can pick, and it goes all day, and the whole thing starts at like I think 10 o'clock in the morning and doesn't end till like 9 p.m. They have fireworks that go off. There's a bunch of different games, just like Plinko, I think it's what it's called, and it's like where you drop the thing and it like goes down a bunch of different pegs and then lands in like a 10, 5, 2, and how many points you get is how many prizes you get. There's a fishing game where they give you like a toy fishing rod and you throw it, and if like as far as you can, and there's like a little things on the floor. It's like 2, 4, 5, 6, 10, and whatever like where your rod reaches, you get a prize. You get like points basically. They also have like a card part where like you get stamped for each game you play, and if you get like your whole ticket full, you get a free cotton candy or something like that. So that's super fun, and I love it. And then there's also the whole playground because it's a much school, so they have that set up as well. Different like streamers around it, super fun. They have all kinds of cool things. I haven't gone in about 2-3 years because I missed it, and also for a while there it was shut down for COVID, so yeah. But it was really fun, and I really like it because you have to remember that COVID started March 2020. It's April 10th when that starts, so obviously we haven't had it in a bit. But it was definitely super fun and like the highlight of my life every year when that came around. So yeah, but I wanted to talk really quickly about this canteen that I'm actually building right now. So this is the little cafeteria. It has literally like 3 tables and chairs, but that's fine. You can sit there, you can eat. There's also picnic tables outside, and there's a little kitchen back there. I feel like you could hire like a chef, and they can come in and cook. Or even if your Sims came here and you were like, I'm hungry, you can go in and just make something yourself. It doesn't matter, and eat it there. You can have like a little family dinner here if you wanted. There's tables of 2, 3, and 4, I believe, or maybe even 3. I don't know. But if you're a family of 3, you can sit here and you can eat. I don't know about the rest of you, but because there's not really many tables for anything else. So yeah, this is like kind of an event place for me. One thing I've always wanted to build, and every time I play Minecraft, I always build it in Minecraft, but I don't in The Sims, which I should, is kind of like a holiday event place, which I think is the exact same thing as a rec center, where basically like every season that passed by in The Sims, I would redo it. So like if it's winter time, I would put all kinds of winter decorations and a Christmas tree and things like that, and then kind of winter activities. So like maybe there's a hot chocolate bar, and there's, I don't know, all kinds of cool things. And then Halloween, you would have like maybe all kinds of scare decorations, and there could be a pumpkin carving room and different things like that, and garden for spraying, and even like a summer with a bunch of water slides and things. Someone's phone's ringing in my house. But yeah, I always want to do that, but I feel like a rec center is kind of the same thing. You know what I mean? So maybe you can decorate it. It is currently summer. No, it is spring in my game at the moment. So I decided to decorate this with a little bit of flowers and stuff, even though this is not going to be spring forever. I actually have my game set to absolutely insane amount of things, and I feel like a bunch of people who also play The Sims that are watching this are like, girl, please, what the hell do you do that? So basically, I have my seasons on 28 days, which is absolutely chaotic. And then I have aging off, and I put my Sims' birthdays on the calendar. So for example, my Sim, Hudson and Cora, they have the same birthday. Their birthday is fall 5th. And so every year, right now they're 25, so when fall 5th comes around, they'll be 26. And they won't age up until they're young adults, so when they turn adults, that won't be until their 30th birthday. So I quite literally play it out like that, and that is how I do things. So yeah, and even for people that I don't play with, like I have aging on for the people that I'm not playing with, my unplayed households, but even for them, I have the age span set with MCC to be the exact same as it is for my household, which is like a year they age up, a year they age up, a year they age up type of thing, or age they like grow like it that you do in real life. So yeah, and basically that is what I'm doing this room for, which, what? That made no sense. I'm sorry. I wanted to talk about the room, but I didn't know how to transition. Either way, I am now furnishing this room, which I am calling the classroom tutoring space. And this is what I basically was talking about my community center or rec center that lives up the road, that's up the road from me. We have like a tutoring thing after school. So I've added this room in for a little bit of nod to that, because I feel like if maybe you can make like a tutoring club for your teens or child sims, where basically they like just come here and do homework together. And so I put that here so that your sims would come here and they do their homework, and then there'll be like maybe a teacher or something, and the teacher can help them with their homework as well, because that is an option you can do in this game. So yeah, I just had a little tutoring room. You can have a little tutoring club, and then maybe the kids and teens split it, so like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and it's teens, and then Tuesday, Friday, or Tuesday, Thursday, it's kids or something, one of the other things like that. And then you can make a lot of clubs that can be used here. Like I feel like you can use a music club where your sims can come here and play music together. You can have an art club where everybody comes and paints. You can have a tutoring club. You can have a game club, like maybe a bunch of people who come here and just play card games. You can have a basketball club. You can have like a little kids play area group, like maybe like a group of friends, or like an after school play club. You can do all kinds of cool things here with clubs, which I love, by the way. I love clubs and get together. Like, that's the selling point for me. I'm obsessed with that. All my sims are like in 3 clubs each, and usually it's with all of their family members if I can fit them all, or like just the important ones. And then I have one for everybody who works at their job, and then I have one for their friend group. So like if they have more than one friend, then usually I make a group and it's called like the friend group or whatever, and I add all their friends into it. And I have one called like the family, which has like all their important family members, like their parents, maybe their grandparents, their siblings, stuff like that. Is like, I call it the family group chat. And then they have one for all the people they work with, so it's like easier to, I don't know, maybe if they want to go out for dinner, they can have like a little employee dinner and invite everybody. I just now realized that I put tables in front of the door. You can't even get out. I think I didn't even realize I put that door there, to be honest. Like, I knew I put it there when I first started building this lot, but I don't think I realized that when I was furnishing this. I thought it was a window. My bad, y'all. My bad. Yeah, and the reason I have this laid out like that, where there's like tables with random things behind it, is because your sims can paint from reference, and my idea was that they can like paint the things on the tables, like the flowers or the boat or whatever. So yeah, super cool. I really love this art room. I think this looks so realistic and so cool. And yeah, we are very close to being finished this video. I am just kind of putting down some different like kids toys and different things that you can do around here outside, like taller slides and different things like that. And yeah, I probably should put bleachers or something in the basketball court, or like at least benches, but I completely forgot. So yeah. And yeah, now I'm just putting wallpaper on. I try to stick with the dark blue theme, and I just went with this dark blue wallpaper from Parenthood, or it's like kind of, I don't know, it's like blue and blue, I don't know, but either way, that's kind of what I stuck with. And yeah, we are pretty much done with this video, guys, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, because I love hearing from you guys. And we are moving on to Windenburg now, so if you like that world, definitely stick around and hang out with me while I build that one. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Alright, bye everybody.